Okay, so today's lesson, as I said, again, is solving two-step equations. We're going to look at some two-step equations that are a little more complicated, and then we're going to look at a couple different types that don't follow the rule of undoing addition or subtraction first. Okay, so the first is just a set of more complicated examples. I'm not going to do these for you. I want you to try them for a couple minutes to see how you do with these, and then we will talk about these solutions. Go from here. All right, I am interested to see what some of you got. Elena, what did you get for the first one?
16 and 4/5.
That is correct. How many of you got 16 and 4/5 or 16.8? It's the same thing. Okay, slightly more than half of you maybe, which means the other half of you got a little tricked by something. Elena, can you explain what you did first?
Okay, I wasn't expecting that to be right.
She's still in shock.
Yeah,
That's right.
So first, the teller is like a double negative, so I did plus 16.
Okay, so changed it to 5 and plus 16 equals 100. As I was walking around, I didn't say anything to tell you you were headed in the wrong direction, but I saw a lot of you were adding 16 to try and get rid of this, but it really is addition. If it says minus negative, you have to follow the integer rules first and change that to positive. Okay, now it's easy.
And then I subtracted 16 from 16 and 3.
Okay, and you got 5n equals
8. And then I divided it by 5.
and got n equals 16 and 4/5, or you can write it as a decimal, 16.8. Okay, so I'm willing to bet most of you, if you did anything wrong at all, it was with that double negative, forgetting what that meant. Okay, Jimmy, what did you get for the next one?
850.
No? Volunteer with a different answer. Devin.
Negative 136.
That is correct, negative 136. Can you tell us what you did?
I did 15 minus 15 is y.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and write the minus 15 up here. Okay, so you ended up with?
Y over 4.25. Then 17 minus 15 is negative 32.
Good, same sign, so we add and keep. And then, what did you do?
Multiplied 4.25. Yeah, that.
Multiply by
Yeah.
both sides by 4.25. Okay, and then got y equals negative 136. You are allowed to use calculators now if you want to. I think it's better to be doing the calculations manually because you get more practice with that, you get faster at it, you get better with your facts, everything. But you can when we move into some of these more difficult ones. I'm not testing you on these skills right now.
Can
Yes?
I do the next one?
Yes.
I got x equals 33 over 40.
That is correct. Very good. Tell us what you did.
And so I started out by subtracting 1/5 from both sides. And I converted 3/4 to 15/20 and 1/5 to 4/20 and got 11/20.
Okay, so you have 2/3 x equals 11/20, okay?
And then I multiplied 2/3 x by 3, pretty much 1.5, but 3 seconds,
3
3
halves,
halves
okay?
x.
And same
and
thing
do-
over here.
Yeah, by the same on the other side.
Okay,
And I got x equals 33 over 4.
very good. How many of you got that one right? Okay, good, good. I know not all of you got to it, so. Okay, any questions about those three before we go on? It actually gets a little easier. Okay, different type of problem. These problems start out with, there's a fraction bar, but there's stuff to do on top of the fraction bar. So we talked a little bit when we were talking about order of operations that a fraction bar works as a grouping symbol. So if you were using order of operations and this were a number, let's just make it a number. Let's say, let me write this up here. Let's do 4 plus 4, let's say it's 2 over 5. what would you do first when you solve that problem? Grace?
4 times 2
Mm-hmm. You would do 4 times 2, and then what would you do?
plus 4.
Yeah, you would do the addition first, right? Because it's on top of the fraction bar, and then you would divide. So we're going to undo the operations in the reverse order. So since in this problem we would add, then divide, we're going to undo the division and then undo the addition. So we're going to work backwards a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is multiply both sides by 5, which makes these 5s cancel out. We're left with 4 plus 4x equals 20. This is actually more than a 2-step equation. This is a 3-step equation. Because now we have to get rid of now we can follow our normal order of things. Now we get rid of the 4, so we would subtract 4 from both sides. We end up with 4x equals 16. Now we can divide both sides by 4 to give us x equals 4. Any volunteers to try to explain the next one? Adria?
So you have to multiply by 10 on both sides.
Okay, good. Start by multiplying by 10. Okay, what do you end up with?
So then you're left, ended up with x minus 2 equals 20 over 5
Which is
is 4.
4. Now what?
And then so it is, yeah. So then you have to add on both sides.
Mm-hmm. And x equals 6. Okay, any questions about those? 2 for you to try. We'll talk about these in just a minute. Okay, let's go over these problems. Let's see. Eve, can you tell us how to do the first one?
So, first I did 4 times 4 over, like x minus 6 over 4, I did multiply.
Oh, wait, no, we're on this one first.
I multiplied that by 4.
Okay, multiply. So you can just say multiply both sides by 4.
Yeah, and I got
Concise way.
13x plus 1 equals negative 12. And
Okay.
subtracted that by 1.
Okay.
On each side. So I got 13x equals negative 13. And then I divided that by both sides by 13, so x equals negative 12.
Okay, nicely done. Any questions about that one? Okay, next problem, Grace.
I multiplied both sides by 4. And then I got x minus 6 equals 1.5.
Okay, I'm going to write that as, well, no, I can tell her it's 1.5. It's not going to be helpful to read the improper. 1.5, good.
Then I added 6 to 6 and 1.5. And I got 7.5.
Good. 7.5, if you wrote it as 7.5, same thing. Okay. Any questions about this before we move on? There's one other type. Okay, there are 2 ways that you can do these problems. The first thing you can do, actually, you know what? I'm not going to tell you. I'm gonna see. How do you think? Any suggestions about how to solve these? Joey, what do you think?
You do like those arrow things.
Like the rainbow thing?
Yeah.
And what's that called when we do that? Anybody want to help her out with what that's called? Elena?
Isn't that like distributed?
Distributing. So we could distribute. Yeah, absolutely. That's the first thing we could do. We could do 4 times W, 4 times 1. So we would get 4W plus 4 equals 24. And then we can solve it normally from there. So we would subtract 4 from both sides, get 4W equals 20. Dividing by 4 we'd get W equals 5. There's another way that we can do this, which is even quicker. Can anyone think of another way you might do it? Other than distributing. Think about what we did in the last set of problems. Devin?
Would you just ignore the parentheses and just, like, do 4W plus 1 equals 24?
Well, no, you can't do 4W plus 1 because then you're distributing to the first one but not to the second one. So no, you can't do that. Eve?
Could you do x minus 2 over?
Yeah. I actually want to stick with this problem. You're talking about this one. She's saying, could we do this over -3? Yeah, this means, let's go back to the first problem, 4 times what's in parentheses. To get rid of multiplication, we can do division. So let me rewrite this problem here. This is even quicker to just divide both sides by 4. We get W plus 1 equals 6. Subtracting 1 from both sides gives us W equals 5. So when we did it this way, it ended up being a 3-step equation because we had to distribute, then we had to undo addition, then we had to undo multiplication. If we do it this way, it's only a 2-step equation. I don't care which way you did it. I spent my whole life doing it by distributing until I started teaching it and thought, oh, Khan Academy does it this way, and it's a lot easier to do that way. Okay, so let's take a look at the next one. Grace, can you explain the next one?
Which way do you want me to do it?
The easier way.
Okay. You would write -3 parentheses x minus 2 over 3.
Not just 3,
Negative.
-3. And then we would need to do the same thing to the other side. So we get
11.
what do we get on this side first? What's left? So like when we did it over here, the 4's crossed out because 4 divided by 4 is 1. We were left with W plus 1. So what are we left with here?
X plus 6.
No, if these both cancel out, we're not
Cancel.
distributing. Right, we just have x minus 2. Okay, and then what's -39 divided by -3? 13. Okay, now what do we do?
Plus 2.
Mm-hmm. So x equals, good. Okay, last one, Ross.
I did 5 times x to get 5x first.
So you distributed?
Yeah.
Can you explain it the other way? I want you to try it like we did this one and the red down here.
Like we did up in the first problem?
Not the
Blue?
purple, all the red.
Oh,
I want you to do
red.
it like you did the red.
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's look at what we did on the first one. So we have 4 times the quantity, W plus 1, 4 times everything in parentheses. So down here, we took the 4, which is 4 times everything in here. We divided by 4 to get rid of the number in front, to get rid of the 4. So what do we need to get rid of here? We're going to divide by 5, yeah.
And then do it x plus 9.
Good.
Equals 1.
Negative divided by positive. Okay, now what?
And then we would, wait, that would be our answer, wouldn't it?
No, we're not done. We have to have x by itself in order to have the answer.
So that would be,
We have to get rid of the plus 9. How do we get rid of the plus 9? What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction, so we just need to subtract them.
Nine minus one. Oh, wait, no, not.
Now careful, we have -1, -9,
Nine, you get negative 10.
-10. So x equals -10. Okay, any questions before we go to the exit ticket? On the exit ticket, I don't remember if I gave you one with distributing. No, I didn't, so that won't be an issue.